The schedule today, Amber Bocas said in Geronimo will now be first up. Game started earlier than 4 o'clock as well. So we're now in the bottom of the first inning with Ampo now taking the lead 1-0. Ain't going to get him on the tag. Oh, he's in safe. Hit by pitch will put the base runner on first and second down. Base runners advance now second and third. Ball is put in play over to right field. That'll be good enough for an RBI. One will score, and they'll have them on the corners now, first and third for Ampo, up early 2-0 over Geronimo. Base runner advances in safe at second. I'd like to thank our coverage sponsor for today's action, Turner Welding. in Amber, Oklahoma. Shallow ball to second base. It's going to score a run. However, it will be a sac RBI on the 4-3 ground out. So make it a 3-0 lead for Amber Pocasset. Ball games are flipped today, so the next game up will be Ripley versus Granite, and then that will conclude today's action here, Prep Nation doubleheader coverage. Tomorrow's slots are same. Only differences is we'll have kind of some losers brackets and winners brackets games tomorrow. We'll do our best to get you the times for those. Notable change tomorrow, Calumet will be playing at 10 p.m. And so after our game here, we will head over to Okarche and do back-to-back games, time permitting, weather schedule permitting, I should say. It's not necessarily that there's bad weather, it's just been hot. And so as a result, they've moved up some times and gotten exceptionally flexible. So as it stands, Okarche will meet the winner of Verdon and Union City tomorrow night or tonight at 8:15, and then potentially play tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Against the Binger and Calumet winner. So we'll keep you updated on that, as is tomorrow. The games at Ampo 4 and 6:30. The games, however, at Okarche are now 5, 7:30 for back-to-back losers punch-out games, and then a 10 p.m. game Friday. So if you're following that logic, we'll be here at Ampo 4 and 6:30, and then we will head over to Okarche definitely for the 10 p.m. game, and we will catch as much of the potential punch-out game between Verdon, Union City, Binger, and Calumet losers as possible. Ball is wild. Base run remains on third. We'll walk him, though, so back on the corners for Ampo. It is a dusty day today here, so I apologize for a little bit of the sniffles. Got some allergy stuff going on. Good defense by the catcher there to save a potential run. So our pitch count will bump up to 3-1 now. And I stand corrected on the scoreboard. 4-0 is the score. And the bases loaded walk for the Panthers. Perfectly executed up the middle. That's going to score two. Nope, they're going to hold him. Bases remain loaded. 5-0 early lead for Amber Pocasset. Now batting number 9, Trace Berry, an old pro at this. He's going to fly out to right field. That'll strand the bases, but not until Ampo gets 5. We'll head to the top of the second inning with the Blue Jays coming up to bat. You're watching Prep Nation TV. Coming up to bat for Geronimo will be number 15, Taylor Wynn. Put in play, hot shot to the shortstop. He is on the money, though, and 6-3 on the ground out. Coming up to bat next, number 22, Alex Russell. This one is going to fall for a single. Geronimo has a base runner on for the first time in the game. Now batting number 3, Jaden Wallace. Strikeout. So Geronimo unable to convert on the early hit. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning with Ampo coming up to bat. They lead 5-0. Final score from earlier today action in Okarchi, Calumet 19-0 over Binger. Now batting number 10, Cale Jones, he'll draw the walk. So be on base again for Amber. They've pretty much been able to get him just about in mass. Only exceptions have been a strikeout and then some ground outs or pop ups. Now batting number 5, Tyler Shaw. Ball gets away, easily steals at second, still throws. Chopper just hooked foul. Inside corner is going to be called excuse me, ball four. I was just in the process of saying that it might have actually hit part of the fabric, so a moot point as is 4-2 call. Now batting number 6, Jackson Riley. And the base runner advances and steals, so it is another unearned run for Geronimo's 6-0 lead. And steals third, even though it's going to be a little bit closer than I would have anticipated. So Panthers are rolling here early on. Only other game action today. Calumet victorious 19-0 over Binger Oni. Evening games are set. So it'll be a winner style bracket. So if you are following the Okarche action tonight, it'll be Verdun and Union City playing at approximately 6 p.m. And then Okarche will meet that winner now. Calumet advances to tomorrow's 10 p.m. game, and they will most likely meet Okarche, a top 10 bubble team. I had them number 11, and I kind of, be honest with you, I started at 10, I went back to 11. There's very little space between teams 8 through 13 in the A poll for the third week's ratings. I gave Bing a higher slot due to the strength of schedule, but also the quality wins that they had. You could make an argument that Tushka and Bing or Okarche, any of them, uh, pretty much could slot around that 7, 8, 9 spot. Okarche only one loss on the season. This will obviously be a good tournament for them because it'll give them two chances actually to get quality wins against Calumet from Class B. And then you would think AMPO for normally Class 2A in spring and A for fall. So it'll definitely give them a resume building tournament. And that's not to say that that won't be the only games because they'll have opportunities with Granite, Ripley, and kind of some type of combination in tandem should there be a loser's bracket matchup. So it should be a good event here. 3 games in Okarche today, 2 here at Amber Pocasset. We'll be at Ampo tomorrow for both games. In effect, it'll be the same teams as today, Granite, Ripley, Geronimo, Ampo, and some combination playing. Today they flip-flopped the order of the games. So originally Granite Ripley was supposed to be 4 p.m. and Ampo Geronimo 6:30. They have flipped those over. Notable change for the Okarche bracket is the Binger, Oni, and Calumet game went to 10 a.m. this morning. We were originally going to cover that game, but then we would have had about a 6-hour gap Bases loaded walk again for Ampo. This is the third time in as many innings that they have had the bases loaded. So just a reminder, tomorrow's games, they're slotting for better accommodations for heat. So tomorrow's games in Okarche will be 5 p.m. That'll be the Verdun Union City loser versus Bingeroni. And then at 7:30, the winner of that game will play in a punch-out game. And then the final game ostensibly will be Okarche 8:15, Verdun Union City winner. And then that winner will meet Calumet at 10 p.m. in a game that will likely go all the way to midnight. Infield pop-up fly should have applied automatically, but nonetheless, it is what it is. And one down, bases remain loaded for Ampo. I got a mouthful of dust driving here, multiple trucks just slinging it every direction. So I apologize. I've got a little bit of nasal twang going on today. Number 15 now batting, Ethan Swartz. Oh, 1 pitch count will resume. Breaks in for the strike. This is our second opportunity to get a look at Amber Pocasset, and you'll notice that we'll be catching them in back-to-back tournaments. We'll briefly be doing the Calumet Festival next Monday and Tuesday, and then shifting over to the annual Hydro Eakly Labor Day tournament, which is more like a marathon. There's schedule here 2 games today, and then we'll have a triple header coverage for you tomorrow, or as I like to call it, 3.5 games. If we have an entertaining, compelling game when we roll up at Okarche, we'll do that one. If not, we'll just set for Calumet versus the winner of Okarche, Verdun, and Union City. If there are any additional changes made to the bracket, we'll do our best to let everybody know. This is a change actually that I found out when I got here at the park. Foul ball ricochets off of his right kneecap. 1-2 pitch count will resume. Lefty on the mound now up to 58 pitches on the day. That's never a good sign when you're in the bottom of the second inning. I'd like to thank our coverage sponsor for today's game action, Turner Welding. If you haven't done business with Tina Johnson, you need to do so. Great person, great company. They service much of this area. And a proud supporter of Amber Pocasset Panther Athletics. Wicked Rip, it's not going to go quite as far because he got up underneath it. So fly out to center. He's going to tag up. He's going to be in safe. So sack RBI, make it 7-0 Amber Pocasset. Still showing a little worse for wear on the kneecap there. Bless his heart. Hopefully Ethan will get to feeling better. Now to plate number 11, Avery McComas. It's a 5-run bottom first for Ampo, 2 runs and counting here in the bottom of the second already. Another miscue. It's going to allow base runner to steal third, smartly done, and in scoring position once again on the corners. Ooh, just fouled, but boy, that one would have scored at least two. Base runner from first had a really good jump, and you have to think that he's going to fire over to his cutoff man and go home, which would allow the base runner to basically hit a double and steal potentially into third as well. Well, that one was just off the mark. Briar Anglin, another one of those kids that just seems like he's been around forever. I've been covering Ampo. I guess I was sitting here thinking about it the other day. I think the first time I picked him up was 2014 at a tournament. But a young man that I have known and seen come up from bat boy, ball boy kind of age demographic, and there'll be the bases loaded walk, making it 8-0. And unfortunately for Geronimo, that is the fifth time that the bases have been loaded and are going to remain loaded. So we have a pitching change here now. I like to see the younger coaches out. It's a good thing for the kids. But make no mistake about it, if you were to put a uniform on that young man right out at the mound, nobody would blink an eye thinking he wasn't one of the players. So pitching change now here for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the second. Bases remain loaded, 8-0 lead for Amber Pocasset. All right, we should be getting close to the prerequisite 10 pitches to get set. He gets a fire away and throw out if he wants. I don't think they're going to take advantage of that since the base runner's on second. Another run scores 9-0. Amber Pocasset. 4-3 on the ground out. They'll strand two, but not until they score four. We'll head to the top of the third inning. Your score now: Amber Pocasset 9, Geronimo 0. Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2023 Ampo Okarchi Invitational Tournament. Infield pop up right to the pitcher, and one down. Now batting number one, Ethan Silva. And they get the walk. So back to back innings, positive news. For Geronimo, they'll have base runners on. Now batting number 11, Royce Worker. Two base runners now on for Geronimo, the best that they have had so far. So you'd have to think this is the make or break inning for them. Now batting number 8, Chase Brim. Oh, gets him on the pickoff. Nicely done. Officially a 1-3 tag off. Four three ground down, and the Blue Jays strand two. We'll head to the bottom of the third with the Panthers coming up to bat. It is 9-0. Amber Pocasset. All right, coming up to bat for Ampo, number 10, Cale Jones. And yet another base runner for Amber Pocassid makes it on. Now batting number 5, Tyler Shaw. Just a reminder, the next game up will feature the Ripley Warriors versus the Granite Panthers. They have flip-flop times today. Straight across the plate, though, just a little high. So the original 4 o'clock game is now the 6:30 game. Hard shot to shortstop, can't hold on to it, overthrows. In safe at first, steals third, and Ampo once again perfectly lined up for another scoring opportunity. Originally, it was not an error, however, the throwing error is. So assigning an E6, not on the field, but on the throw. Just can't get it on spot, and as a result, goes over the head and allows the base runner to steal. And another run comes home, and one scores, advancing to second. And another ball gets away, another error. Oh, wicked rip. Gets underneath it, though, tags up. So it'll be a sack RBI, make it 11-0 Amber Pocasset. So Jackson Riley with the sack RBI, and now Zach Horry coming up to bat. Bases are cleared. It is 11-0. One more run by my math will give us a run rule final. We'll see if Geronimo can stave that off here in the bottom of the third inning. First ball in, other one, I'm sorry, ball for a strike, second one for the ball, so it evens up the count 1-1. And the base runner advances. So Horry on first. Damian Hawkins will be up to bat for the Panthers here. One run needed. Fires over to first, in safe. And he does steal. That has got to be at least the seventh or eighth just misfire at home plate between the pitcher and catcher. It's the batter advances to first. And we'll have a second pitching change now here for Geronimo. I can understand the rationale behind this, even though it is a blowout loss. You're wanting to try to stave off a run rule here in the third inning. Two base runners on. Obviously, you can do the math, no outs. They just need to be able to get the guy, woo, that is at second across home plate. When we resume, number 15, Ethan Swartz will be up to bat for the Panthers. Yet to see the Ripley Warriors. There we go. They just came out of the restroom area. So Ripley is here. Granite has been here for about 45 minutes, give or take. That'll be your next Prep Nation TV gang. Seems weird to be doing baseball when it's football season, but it's a passion of mine, and I have found that there seems to be more interest in baseball through the fall. Nobody really covers it much, and it's my privilege and pleasure to do so. Lots of notable football games on the docket tonight. We'll be kind of like most people checking scores throughout the state, seeing who's doing what, if there's any kind of shockers or surprises. Standard game that I used to always cover to kick off the season was Bigsby and Owasso. We used to do a lot more Metro Tulsa and Oklahoma City coverage when we first started as OK Preps, and enjoy the big facilities and the nice, beautiful, amazing fields that most of them have. But I've also come to find that there's a ton of local small schools that have awesome competition and compelling games and tournaments. So I'd be interested to see some of the scores tonight, what they end up being. On tap for the big boys, Union and Westmore, Bigsby and Owasso tonight. Back in action. Flares right over to the third baseman. That is an error. Nobody there to help him. And as a result, perfectly executed single. Bases loaded, and now the potential game-winning run on third base. 6A2 tonight, Western Heights, Putnam City West for football. Class 5A, it'll be Lawton MacArthur and John Marshall. Class 4A, you have John Marsh, of course, coming up on that particular matchup, and then a JV, Salisaw and Talahina, lower class. Kima and Bethel. Bacola and Heavener will be playing tonight as well in Class 2A. Class B kicks off tonight. Wilson, Thackerville, Kremlin, Hillsdale, Deer Creek, Lamont. Central Marlowe against Grandfield. Midway against Cave Springs, Covington, Douglas, and Timberlake. And in Class C, Bray Doyle, Maysville. It's been an interesting night throughout the state of Oklahoma. And that should do it. By my math, we'll have a 12-0 run rule final. Just a reminder, your next game up will feature the Granite Panthers versus the Ripley Warriors. Final score, Amber Pocasset 12, Geronimo 0. Game 1 of 2 signing off. Stream will be up in about 5 minutes.